And this young man, we were just talking to a group of ASICS dealers down in Arizona, and I talked about that some people make an impact that takes their sport to another level. Lance Armstrong did it in cycling, made cycling a household sport, something everybody knew about, and everybody knew Lance Armstrong. And in the world of running for the U.S., this young man is going to do the same thing for us. He burst on the scene a few years ago when he ran 59:43 for the half marathon, the fastest half marathon in U.S. history. And he ran the fastest debut marathon ever for an American. Then he goes off and runs 2:06:17, the fastest marathon ever for an American-born guy. Please give it up for Mr. Ryan Hall. You know, and for our triathletes out there, Ryan, our folks might not realize that you got a little triathlon heritage. Your dad's a triathlete. You're up at Big Bear. You guys did a little family triathlon up there?
Yeah. I have a ton of respect for you guys. I got to watch my dad do Ironman Hawaii when I was a sophomore in high school, and I was out sweating it out watching those guys compete. And so I have a whole lot of respect for you guys. I mean, what I do is easy. I just run 26 miles. You guys got to do it at the end of your journey. So a lot of respect to you guys. Yeah, we did a little one-on-one triathlon, me and my dad. So this is when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And we were just like, we'll just go out and I'll do it. And I was like, I'm going to blow him out of the water on the run, you know.
Sure.
Like, I'm just going to hammer him. And I got off the bike like a couple minutes behind, and we were doing like a 4-mile run, and I started running, and I was crippled. My quads were like jello, and he ended up beating me over this, and he's like 40-something, and I was, like 18 or something. He killed me, so got a lot of respect for you guys.
All right. And up at Big Bear, you played a lot of different sports. You played baseball, basketball, that different stuff. Tell us a little bit about when you got into running.
Yeah, I loved everything I did, So, yeah, I played baseball was my true passion. Wanted to be a pro ball player. So, I'd spend a lot of time out in the yard throwing the ball against the tarp. And then I played football for a year. Didn't really like that. I got
hitting
pounded.
you. Yeah.
I was 5 foot tall, 100 pounds in 8th grade. And so I was the kid on the sidelines praying that my coach wasn't going to put me in the game. And then I played basketball and sat the bench on the basketball team, which I didn't enjoy at all. And that's actually when I felt like God kind of gave me the vision to run. I was heading out to a basketball game in which I wasn't going to be playing in. I grew up in Big Bear Lake, California, so we had to drive down to the desert for all of our games, which is like, over an hour journey. And I knew I wasn't going to be playing in the game, and I wasn't excited to be going all the way down, all the way back, and just to watch a basketball game from the courts. And then I was just looking out over the lake in Big Bear, and I felt like God just kind of told me to try and run around it. And so the next week, me and my dad tried to run around the lake. Well, we did run around the lake 15 miles. It was long and slow, and I remember we stopped a couple times, but I made it. And ever since then, I believe that God gave me a gift to run with the best guys in the world, so that's what I've been trying to do.
And you wore basketball shoes?
Wore basketball shoes, basketball shorts, yeah. I didn't have my ASICs yet, so I think I was a little beat up after that one.
I bet you were. And in high school, you were the mile was your thing. Jim Ryan, your hero. That's what you wanted to be, America's great miler.
Yeah, I was really, really inspired by what Jim did in high school. And, the mile is kind of the glamour event in the U.S. It's kind of like the mile and the marathon. People ask you, how fast have you run a mile and have you run a marathon? Those are the two big ones. So I didn't see myself being a marathoner, even though I got off to kind of a marathon-esque start, I guess you could say. But I really want to be a miler and break 4 minutes when I was in high school. And it's kind of funny now looking back on that because that was like almost 10 years ago, and it's still my personal best to this day. It was my senior year in high school. I ran 3:42 for 1,500, which is equivalent to like a 4 flat per mile, but I still haven't run any faster, and I would have never thought I'd be doing marathons at my age, which is 26, but I'm glad that I'm doing that because that's what I'm better at.
And when you went to college, obviously your high school career was great, 3:42, 1,500 meter, and you went to Stanford. And during your I'm sure leading in early on in the Stanford career, you thought, yeah, I'm going to win NCAA championships. I'm going to do great things here. But it was hard up there. You had a lot of injuries, and there was a point there where you almost quit the whole sport.
Yeah, college was just a big character development season for me.
For a lot of us.
Like, I didn't even qualify for NCAAs in track till my senior year in college. And the first time I went there, and I ended up winning the race, but I'd never even been there before because my collegiate career was just very difficult and challenging and just kind of went through a lot of struggles. But I had huge ambitions going into it, which made the crash all the harder.
Yeah.
I remember Sarah and I, we took our first date, and at Stanford, you're not allowed to have a car as a freshman, so we had to walk to this sushi place, which was like 2 miles away. And we walked right on the track on the way back to our dorms, and I told her, I was like, I'm going to break the American record in the mile here my 5th year in college. And
that was your first date?
Yeah, that was our first date. So I'm lucky that she didn't totally just dump me at that point for being a little bit cocky or whatnot.
Where is Sarah? Sarah, you here? Yeah. How about a big round of applause for Sarah Hall, who's going to be... She's racing the U.S. Championships in 10 days or so, right? 2 weeks?
Yeah, Sarah has USA's in 10 days, and she's hoping to qualify for the World Championships in Berlin. She's got a really good shot at it. So.
That is awesome. They've been training down here at the Olympic Training Center. Yeah. Very exciting stuff.